can hear you. I can hear you clearly.
All right.
Hello. My name is Said Ablade. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, that's great. Mr. Idris, can you hear me, sir? Mr. Idris? Mr. Idris? I need to be sure I'm going there.
We can hear you, Chiedozie.
All right. I need to be sure I'm in the right place. Sorry for that. I need to be sure I'm with the right audience. Okay, thank you so much for waiting on me. I think we'll start off immediately and I'll start presenting. Thank you so much. All right, so today we are looking at a section, Drive Better Business Outcome with Microsoft Power Platform. So basically, my name is Chiedozie Jelon, and I lead the team for business process automation. So I'm glad once again that you are in this section, and I hope that it will be a great outcome for every one of us. So Microsoft, as it is, Signal Alliance is doing a lot within this season of remote section to support our partners and also to see if we can drive value for the things they have already paid for. So I think that's the essence of these sections that we have been rolling out to customers, and today is a great one, and I'm so excited to be in this section with us. So a couple of things to do before we just pushed in. We're going to have some level of our agenda for today. We center around Microsoft Power Platform. So we are looking at introduction to Power Platform. We are going to take a look at the importance of Power Platform, and we are going to see most especially the components that made up of Power Platform. What are the services that are bundled in together as a suite within this platform that Microsoft has given to us? So as we proceed in the meeting, please, if you have any question, drop it by the chat window. If you have any question, drop it by the chat window, and I will do well to respond to those questions. Thank you so much. All right, so let's just kickstart the meeting once again. So we're taking the first thing on our agenda, MS Power Platform overview. What is it all about? So now more than ever, organizations has embraced the value of using data to drive business outcome. It has swelled up. If you look behind 10 years ago, it's not in this dimension that we are seeing it now, that data is being churned out by the day. So companies have adopted the cloud to store mass quantities of data and have become more efficient at harnessing data from signals coming from a multitude of sources. It can be from web traffic, it can be from social media, but most importantly for enterprise applications, it comes from CRMs and ERPs, other databases that reside within the system. So companies have come to have all these things lined within their landscape, and all of them are meant to either generating data or storing data. Now, but if you look at it very carefully, they have implemented this infrastructure, which I know FBN also have done. They have implemented a series of this infrastructure for harnessing data. But the question is, how can they make that data work from the most efficiently? How can they make that data speak to their business? That is the core thing we're going to discuss that centers around Microsoft Power Platform. So they need a layer on top of their data that lets all workers, regardless of technical ability, leverage So this is exactly what Power Platform meant to solve. So Power Platform is a system that enables users to do three major things. three actions upon their data. First, they had to analyze their data, they had to act upon their data, and they will automate their data. So with this in mind, we have this suite of solutions with Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate, all of them working together on top of your data to give everyone from the CEO to the frontliners to drive business outcome with data. So the vision of Power Platform started from the recognition that data is increasingly flowing from everything. Everything we do in the enterprise talks about data, whether it is physical data that resides in documents, whether it is data that is generated as a result of business processes that drives the business, whether it is data that goes through cloud service. Everything we do within our business resides about data. So that is the vision that got started this Power Platform that we are talking about today. So Power Platform is today comprised of 4 services, at least the one we can easily mention very quickly. So we looked at the Power BI, we have the Power Automate, and the Power Virtual Agents. Hello, can you still see my screen? Hello, can you see my screen? Hello, I can hear you. Can you see my screen? Hello?
Hello, please. Let's mute our speaker, please. Let's mute our speaker. We can hear some background noise at the. Please, let's mute our speaker.
Yeah, the background noise will always cause me to pause to see if I can get feedback from the audience. So please, let's mute all our speakers so that we can get going. All right. So the screen before me is the Microsoft Power Platform on summary. So we have 4 suite of services. We have Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. Now, beneath these 4 solutions or product that we have, of course, we have the AI Builder, the Common Data Service, and the Data Connectors. I'm going to split these things so that we can understand them very clearly. So let's talk about data, because that is central to everything that we do as a business. So if you look at my screen very well, we want to talk about that which is central to everything we do as a business. So data is central to all digital transformation. So, and because of that, we need to know our data. And with that data, we can do a whole lot of things with it. So with our data, we can act against our data. And how do we act against our data? We act against our data using Power Apps. So Power Apps is a product we use to act against our data. Now, if we place an action against our data, what else can we do? We can also automate our data. We can cause our data to run approvals. We can cause our data to send notifications. We can cause our data to connect to any business line of business within the enterprise to fetch more data information that can become an outcome or also be what another process we use as to initiate its own process. So we can automate our data. What else can we do with our data? We can analyze our data. So we have the Power BI to analyze our data. Now, if you can act on this data, automate your data, analyze your data over a period of time, you can do something else. You can learn from your data, and you use AI Builder to learn from your data. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. Now, how does data come into Power Platform? This is important for us to answer. How do you bring data into Power Platform? Well, I've said that it is a platform, it's not a product. It's a platform with a suite of products, which we have actually mentioned, and they are on the screen. So the thing is this, data can come from 2 places within the Power Platform. So you can bring in data through connectors, and also you can bring in data through what we call CDS, Common Data Service. All right, so data can come from either connectors or common data service, which I've just rightly mentioned. Now, the question is, what is the difference between these two places of data? Now, in my own view, the way I looked at it, I explain it in two different ways. One is external data, and the other one is internal data. So what do I mean by these two things? Now, external data are data that comes from within our environment, but not from within our platform. So if you have a data that resides in your SharePoint, it is an external data. If you have a data that resides in your Oracle database, it is an external data to our platform. So once you are getting a data, your data source is coming outside the Power Platform, we regard it as an external data. And how do we bring in an external data within the Power Platform? We do that by connection. So we connect to your data environment. That means Power Platform can connect to your Oracle data. It can connect to any other form of database that holds your data within your environment. So that is the one we call external data. Now, apart from external data, I also gave a definition of what I call internal data, as you can see on the screen. So internal data is data that is native and intrinsic part of the Power Platform. So once you start building a new database for any solution you want to design in Power Platform and you choose common data service, that data resides internal within your Power Platform. So I think I've been able to clear the difference between these two things, but let's go deeper and see how we can make them simplify them further. All right, so when you are building a solution, like I did mention, so you have two things within you. The source of your data or source application that feeds into your solution can either come from any of the systems you have in your enterprise, or you may want to start building from scratch. So if you are getting data from outside your system, you are doing that with a connector. We're going to see how many databases can Power Platform connect to build a solution within your enterprise. And if you are building from scratch within your system, you are storing your data in what we call CDS, Common Data Service, which resides in Azure. So to make it a little bit easier for us to understand, now this is how it is. Power Platform has two flavors. The first flavor is Canvas. The next flavor is model-driven application. So if I want to build an application today, I need to choose two things. Am I building my application in Power Apps with a Canvas-driven application or a model-driven application? Now, the one I choose determines to what extent I can go. Now, for a Canvas application, I can only connect to a system, and I can also build with a common data service. But if I am building a model-driven application, I can only start building with CDS, Common Data Service. All right, I'm getting an echo at the background. Someone's mic is on. Hello, are you with me? Hello. All right, I think it has subsided now. All right, can I continue? Hello, can I continue?
Yes, please continue.
All right.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. So if you can see my screen very well, I just put up a very short slide that tells us the things we can do within this Power Platform. And the first one is Power Apps. And I say with Power Apps, you can build two flavors of applications. One is the one we call Canvas, and the other one is model-driven application. And anyone you chose to build will determine where your source of data will be. So if I want to build an application using the Canvas-driven, that means with connectors, I can reach out to another source database and get data to run my application. Or I can start afresh to build a new data source within the common data service. That means they have yes for both of them. But if I want to build a model-driven application, I cannot connect to any data source within my environment. I can only start building within the common data service. So depending on what you chose, you need to know where your data source is going to come from before you choose what type of application to build. Now, the third part there is Power Portals, which Microsoft gave us last year, is meant for you to collaborate with your vendors, with your partners outside your system, so they can actually make use of your data and call up other informations within the applications you build to interact with them. And you can't do that with connectors. You can only do that with CDS, Common Data Service. Now, with Power Automate, which came to us last year as Flow, you can do both of them across. With AI Builder, you can only do CDS. But with Power BI, you can either connect to any system we have in your environment, or you can build a new data source with Common Data Service. All right, so why external data? How easy it is for us to connect to the things that we have before. Are we going to write a new APIs? Are we going to write a new connection strings? How easy it is for business users, power users, to start building application within the data sources we have in our environment. And this is what the next slide talked about. So within the ecosystem of Power Platform, Microsoft has given us 275 plus cloud services we can connect to. We can connect ranging from Excel to OneDrive to Yammer to anything within the cloud services that you run within your environment as an FBN. So whatever it is, you can see GoToMeetings are there. Anything you have been doing with Cisco Web Services, anything that is cloud services, many of them, I want to use the word, many of them, at least for now, we have about 275 plus connectors that has been built for you already. So all you need is to start your application. The next wizard that will open up for you asks you, where is your data source for the application you want to build? And it will expose all these connectors to you. You choose your data source, you click on it and connect. From there, you now navigate your way based on what your application is meant to do. So that means you can connect through that. Now, not only the cloud services, seamlessly, you can also connect to your on-premises environment through Data Gateway. So all you need is just to download the Data Gateway and run it on your system. Of course, it will ask you some connection strings. You go into your environment, and as much as your IT can help you to have this connection string handshake within your system, then you can pull data and start working with data. Remember, you can act on the data, you can automate on the data, you can analyze it. And if you do it a long period of time, you can run an AI builder on it to have a better outcome. So we can develop register custom connectors. For example, if in your environment you have actually built some legacy applications that are built by your IT, what can you do with it? We don't have the connectors specified here with us. Microsoft doesn't know about it. The solutions we build in-house. Your IT people can build and what we call custom connectors to this platform, and you can scale up from there. So you have all these ubiquitous peripheral of applications that has been done for us already. So this is for external data. When I want to get data within my external environment into Power Platform, these are the way to go about it. So why internal data if I don't want to use external data? That brings us again to the slide before us here. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about Common Data Service. So Common Data Service is like a database that works with entities. Now, it is smart, it scales, and it's secure. It is very easy to define the structure of your data in a Common Data Service. Now, it also means you don't need to be able to write SQL statements. You don't need to understand complex distributed transactions that happens within the system. All you know is just to put in your entities and begin to call them up in a CDS. So what are the things that CDS is going to do for us? It is more than a relational database. So within CDS, Common Data Service easily structures a variety of data and business logic to support connected this. Hope I'm not. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay, I connected from my network. Okay, so look at it. It is very easy to define your structure of your data in a common data service. Another thing is that it can take variety of any kind of data, you can build it within this system. Then number 3 again is that it supports interconnected applications. That means it's not meant to be a standalone. You can integrate it with other applications within your system. And finally, in a secure and compliant manner, the same Azure Active Directory that is managing our authentication and our authorization is still what is managing CDS within your environment. So let's look at, in a box, what do we have in this CDS that I've just mentioned a little bit about. So CDS, Common Data Service, let's look at it. What is in the box? Now, the first thing is this: everything you do in CDS is via API. Now, you don't want to work with API, but you need to know that these are the things that happens within the system when you interact with it. So when you go in and you want to create a new entity, you are calling an OData API. When you are retrieving an information about the shape of a data, they call in. So all the endpoints, the Power Apps, the Power Automate, the Power BI, all of them consume these APIs. Now, if you like, you can also build a custom application in Visual Studio, which I just told you. With Visual Studio also, you consume the same API that we have in Common Data Service. So let's look at the things that are behind this API. So as soon as you hit the API, the first thing that you hit is a security layer. Now, in the security layer, that's where we manage both authentication, the authorization, and even the auditing. And that means before you come into the system, you are being asked who you are. And even when you enter into the system, you are being questioned with what you can do now that you're now into the system. And everything you do within this platform layer that you got for. So the next layer we want to talk about again is a business logic layer. This is where you can write your business rules, you duplicate detections, your workflows happens in this layer. And it is robust and you can get more things going with it. Now the next layer is the data layer. Within this data layer, of course, it resides in Azure. You can run your reporting, you can run your modeling within this data layer that is in Common Data Service. So I'm going through this part to show you how robust this database entity is. So after the data layer, you meet the storage layer that connect to your Azure Data Lake, Azure Blob, and all the storages you have in Azure. So it is robust. Now, when you leave the storage layer, you meet the integration layer. Like I did mention, that is not meant to be a standalone. It can integrate to other things within your environment. Your Azure functions, your webhooks, your events processes. It can handle all these things and integrate with them with ease. So these are the things we have in Common Data Service. Now, you asked me a question, Power Platform, Power Apps, and Common Data Service, what? How do I go out from here? Now, let me take it a little bit to answer that question. I need you to take something home by summarizing. Now, I will look at it as an oval instead of thinking inside a box. What do I mean by that? So the Power Platform is outside this oval shape, and what you have is all these suite of services within the Power Platform. So once you have a data, you can act on that data, you can automate that data, you can analyze that data, and you can learn from that data to do robotic process automation on it. Now, let's look at this component individually. At this point, if you have any question, you can ask. I want us to do a little x-ray on these individual components and how they can help within the business enterprise. Now, the first one we're going to take up is the Power BI. So what is Power BI? I would like to say that Power BI is a self-service business intelligence solution that makes it easy to connect analyze, and gain insight from the data that runs your business. I chose that word a little bit carefully. It can connect, it can analyze. From that analysis, you will gain insight from the data that runs your business. We are told that data is the lifeblood of every business. So wherever that data may be, it may be in the cloud, it may be in your own data center, it can be in an Excel sheet, it may live in your SharePoint list, it can be in Oracle database, it can be in SAP, any solution you can talk about. Power BI can connect to these data sources, it can get information from different data sources, it can match these informations together, it can filter these informations, and it can produce results in visualizations that is within this system. So Power BI also is not just a product as it is, the way I'm looking at it. I want to explain it a little bit. So it is an umbrella term that has three major products within it. The first one is the Power BI desktop. The second one is the Power BI service. It is the software as a service, the online service of Power BI. And again, the mobile version of Power BI. All of them are embedded within Power BI. So let's drill down a little bit and look at the first one, which is the Power BI desktop. So Power BI desktop is the authoring tool which allows you to connect to your data, get your data anywhere. And I want to mention with emphasis, anywhere. Bring it into Power BI to perform critical analysis of your data. Now, you can do mashup of your data in a way that you can visualize your data using all the great visuals we got in Power BI. So you've got a plethora of visuals that you can tap into within this authoring tool. Now, it's also for me to mention to you that Power BI desktop is free. All you need is just to log on to your internet, to any web browser, call up Power BI desktop or in the App Store. You download it, you have this tool within your hands. So the things you see on the screen, basically in a summary, what we can do within this free service that Microsoft has given to us. So you can get data, you can analyze, you can visualize. Once you are done, you can publish your data, then you can collaborate with those reports and dashboard you have built across within your enterprise. So you can publish from the Power BI desktop directly to the Power BI service, and that enables you to collaborate across your entire organizations using insights available through the visualization. All right, I think let me just a little bit deeper to what the screen of Power BI desktop looks like. So you have different sections in the screen. If I go through, this is the major canvas where you pin in your dashboard and also your reports. By the right side, you can see my screen is where you have the plethora of these visualizations I've just mentioned about. So you can choose any kind of visualization to present your data. Now, once I leave that screen, you have the screen for the fields. So this is where, when you pull in your data, the fields are being positioned for you here. So you can do a whole lot with your fields. You can match data together. You can do a lot of mashup with the fields that you got from your DB, prepare and clean up the data. So leaving that place again, the next window that is small, there is a filter window. And this is where you do all your filtering based on the data that you have and the individual components of this data, the columns and the rows that you have within that section. So that's basically about the Power BI. So I would like to take us again to the next one, which is the Power Automate. If you don't have any question, we can continue. If you have question, I would like to pause and we'll take a few questions around that. Can I continue? Can I continue?
Yes, continue.
All right, I'd like to get a feedback. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm super excited to know that I've not lost you, that we're still on track. All right. So we have taken a overview look at the Power BI.
Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is Fatima. Sorry, I was about to ask a question when my internet went off.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay, so you mentioned that the Power BI desktop is a free license tool.
It's not free license, it's a free tool. Yeah, free license tool. So it's free up there. In the app store is free. If you type it on your Google address, it will come up immediately. You download it. It's free.
So you're saying that if I download a copy on my desktop in the office and I start using it to create reports and publish, I won't be sanctioned by Microsoft for license infractions?
You will not, ma. Wherever you go, it's free all the way.
No,
free all the way, ma.
Hello. This is Ibrahim Aodeji. I don't want to assume that it's free. It's not free.
Go ahead, Ibrahim. I can hear you.
It's not free. There is a cost to it, Patty. Even if you download it, it's free to download and you start using it. After a month, it's going to expire. It's going to ask you to log. So there is a license cost to it, and I believe Namdi can speak to this as well, Patty.
Thank you, Ayodeji. Namdi, over to you. Because I'm very inquisitive and I would love to download this.
Can I respond to that? Can I respond to that?
Yeah.
After this section, go everywhere and check your internet. Your Power BI, remember I mentioned 3 things. Your Power BI authoring tool, the desktop version, it is free. And I can stand anywhere to tell you that. It is free for you. Now, what happens is this. Once you finish your authoring, once you finish authoring your data and you want to go a little bit further, for example, you want to publish your data to the Power BI service, where you can share this data, share this visualization with every other person. This is when it becomes, it asks you for a license, because you need to have a license for Power BI service. There are 3 things I mentioned: Power BI desktop, Power BI service, and Power BI mobile. I said that for desktop, it is free. For Power BI service, you need to have a license. So at a point in time you are leaving your Power BI desktop to publish this data, that is when you find out that you don't have a license to publish, but you can author your data within the Power BI desktop, and it's free.
Hello, Doze.
It's a free tool. Yes, I'm with you.
So, just to drive. Hello.
Go ahead. I can hear you there.
Yeah. So, Fatima, my name is Evelyn. I work with the licensing team in Signalance. So, like Doze said, the Power BI desktop is free. It's just that it has limitations to what you can do. For example, you can't do peer-to-peer sharing. You can't create apps on workflows and all that. And you have limited data sources that you can connect to. But the Power BI Pro comes also free for some people on a user, like the E3 users. They have the free version of the Power BI Pro. But if you need to buy more, if you want to do more with the Power BI Pro, you now need to buy the licenses, which also has limitations. So the desktop version is free, like you said.
Fatima, are we on the same page? Thanks, Evelyn.
Let's say the free version has a lot of limitations. Okay, so for the kind of professional work we do in First Bank, we can't use that free. So
very correct.
So in First Bank, we cannot say it's free, because for you to use Power BI in First Bank, you need an E5 license, which is the most expensive license that we have today. Okay, so that's why my team, they are saying not free, because they know they've tried to use Power BI and they have to go get approval to get an E5 license to use it. So for us, it's not free.
Okay, sir. I think we need to. You are right, sir. You are right, honestly, but it is not totally correct from what I'm presenting to you. What we have been talking about all this while is Power BI service, which resides in 2 places, your E3 and your E5. Your E5, you can author with it. That means you can build applications with it. You can build a whole lot. That's why you have the Power BI Pro. Why in E3, what you have in E3 is that you can consume, but two of them are Power BI service. It resides with your licensing. What I'm talking about is a client software you download on your system and you install. It's quite different from the Power BI service. I mentioned that there are three umbrellas. It's an umbrella that has three services: the desktop, the service, Power BI service, and the mobile version. So we are on the same page, but a little bit differences we have around these things. You know, understand?
I think we're on the same page. Let's just go on with the lecture. I think the issue on the license has been clarified so that it doesn't take our time.
All right, it's okay. It's okay then. Thank you so much. So we are looking at the Power Automate, and it's the same thing that we have, which I've showcased to us before. So Power Automate is part of the Microsoft Power Platform, and there are 4 products here that are, you see that they share the same naming nomenclature. All of them are going the same way: Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. All right. So what is the vision behind Power Automate? Now, the vision is to empower your people to drive more business value. Now, Power Automate, I'm sure you have heard about the idea of digital transformation. And our goal with Power Automate is to enable everybody in the organization to digitally transform any aspect of their work, being the mundane tasks that they do every day, or the business critical tasks that they do at the end of the quarter. So a lot of tasks that people do are a good opportunity for automation going forward. So the idea is that you need to go fully digital, and for every digital transformation, automation leads the way. So that is the vision behind Power Automate. So what can Power Automate do? Within Power Automate is automation at a scale. First, Power Automate is automation at enterprise scale. So it's not automation for maybe only productivity solutions. No, because it can connect to any data source, you can use it to run automation in any enterprise. So sorry, my network went down. Sorry, can you still see my screen, or do I need to reshare? Can you still see my screen? Hello?
Yes, I can see it.
Yes,
okay, all right.
Yes,
all right, thank you so much. Okay, that's great. So we are looking at what we can do with Power Automate, and I say we can do a lot of things with Power Automate, because what is automation at enterprise scale? It is seamless, it is secure. The same Azure Active Directory that manages the M365 is where it sits. So with it, you can accelerate productivity. That is, you can automate everything within your enterprise with Power Automate. And of course, you can take it up to intelligent automation. What I mean by intelligent automation is that you can now put in the capability of an AI builder and begin to do some levels of robotic process automation within this Power platform. So these are the things you can do with them. They are not finished. The only automation platform for your enterprise needs, because across all you are doing, Power Automate can handle this. You can even share your flows with colleagues. You can do a whole lot of things with it within the enterprise. So the goal of the Power Platform is to be the only automation platform that FBN can sit on and can deliver end to end. So it can integrate with legacy systems that don't even have APIs. You can very easily share your flows just as you share your documents. It is natively integrated with the entire Microsoft ecosystem. So all the things that is Microsoft within your environment, either on premises or in the cloud, you can integrate seamlessly with Power Automate, and it have a rich extensibility model through Microsoft Azure. So these are the things that gives us the heart that this can deliver end to end, and we, Signal Alliance, we can support you on this journey to using Power Platform to run your business. So it is automation for all. What do I mean by that? Still the same thing I showed in earlier one. All these connectors are within your face. You can connect to every one of them. The same thing I did mention to us earlier on. So it means that you can connect to over 275 connectors that spans from Azure to Zendesk to Salesforce to anything you can mention within the enterprise space. All right, so let's go a little bit deeper and see the things we can do with this system now that you have the solution within your hand. So if you look at within your environment, from OneDrive to Teams to Excel to Yammer to anything you can call off within the within your enterprise application that you have, you can integrate natively, and this will give you maximum efficiency. So from OneDrive, when you select any file and click on Flow button, you can kick off any flow on any file you selected. So once you open up your OneDrive now, you see that at the top bar of it, you see Power Automate there. Select any documents, click on Power Automate. It will even begin to give you some ideas on what you can do immediately from that endpoint. For example, you can say every email that comes to me, those emails that has attachment should be separated in another folder and download the attachment for me. Very easily, you don't write one single line of code. It will do just the same. Or if you are working inside Teams and you want multiple people to collaborate, you can kick off a flow right from your inside team. You don't need to go forth and look for where to call it off. So it is spread out in every services that Microsoft has within the enterprise. Even Excel services. Now Excel has a level of add-in that you can trigger and kick off a flow when you select a data. I'm talking about within Excel, an add-in that you can just get it up immediately, select any data you want to work on, you can kick off a flow on that data immediately. So that is that. So it enhances productivity with integration to Office 365. Like I did mention, all these things you can integrate across them. And of course, all of them are pointing to your productivity, agile delivery, the ability to deliver quick and fast, the ability to run. Even now we are doing a remote section that you can easily run your processes end to end and even do your signatories online also as well. So you don't even need to be in the office, as it were. You can have your home as your office. I think every one of us are learning a new way of living now by working from home. It will soon become an order of life. But I hope that this will not take us too long to see ourselves again. Okay, so one of the things that is so easy within this automation is approvals. So it's a common scenario for every industry. First-class approvals are baked in directly into Power Automate. Now, in that way, anybody can build approval processes very quickly with just a few clicks. So the same way you route your documents table by table, you can use Power Automate to run the approvals by a click of a button, and that will suffice. So I think we need to move a little bit further because of our time and complete on the remaining modules. So this is when you want to go a little bit further to handling sophisticated processes that ensures data consistency and streamline and tailor your user experience. So you can get to the point where you begin to put in the capabilities of the AI user to get things to work out for you. So not only that, we also have the ability to generate rich analytics on top of these processes. Hello? Am I expecting a feedback? Okay. All right. I think we have. So that brings us to the next and the final one within this presentation, which is the Power Apps. So with Power Apps, the vision is to empower every developer to do more. Every developer to do more. Now, for all these products I mentioned, Signal Alliance is standing by to support you end to end to drive business value within your enterprise. So for it is basically where we begin to learn things like citizen developers. We also have the for IT developers and even the pro developers. So everybody can come in now within the Power Apps to build applications very easily. It's still part of the suite that we did mention before. That's the second one there. And you can develop faster than ever before with Microsoft Power Platform. So it's a low-code platform that you don't need to do much. If you know how to work with Excel add-ins and macros, that is what it looks like. And you can start building mobile applications that can drive enterprise business processes within your environment. So with your mobile apps, you can see these things and you can trigger an application, and you can also submit applications for it to go to the next level. So Power Apps is a low-code approach to building apps. So that's why I say every user, every Power user can lay their hands and build applications with Power Apps. And it is very easy. You can connect to different sources of data which you want to fetch your data from, and you can move forward from it. So people have built a plethora of different things. So with Canvas, you can build, with modern-driven app, you can build, and also with portals, you can build applications with these three types of flavors that we have within the system. Okay, for the pro developers, we're about to round up now. We also have a framework that meant for them, which is the CLI. So you can see that the same person that knows how to work with Visual Studio, you can transform your apps into a Visual Studio development environment and also increase the robustness of it. So these are things that we have been given already to make things work for us. So I think I've actually mentioned a few of them and things that we can do within the Power Platform as an overview. I hope that the next session we might have a session where we can maybe do one or two demos to showcase the capabilities of these three things we have just mentioned within the entire ecosystem for First Bank solutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Sorry. Good afternoon again, everyone. My name is Tolu Idris. We apologize because we didn't start this first session on time. However, Tony, the account manager for First Bank, will mail the entire solution deck of this Power App and the recording to the entire participants. And we're expecting to do a second one sometime next week, where Chiedozie will go to a deeper dive and some practical sessions. But based on the schedule for today, there's a second presentation for data management solution. That session will happen in a different meeting room because of the kind of time we had on this meeting room. And we have started that already and waiting for everybody. If you check the chat box, click on that Microsoft Teams, it will take you to that meeting room where the data management solution is just starting right now. Sorry for that mix-up in the beginning of this session. We apologize. But that data management solution has just commenced. Click on that Microsoft Teams in your chat box. You can all see it on your right. Chiedozie, put your cursor on it for them to see. Put in your chat box, share your screen and show the chat box for this meeting room for everybody to see what I'm saying. And for those that may have challenges in that, so that they can just click on it and to take them to that meeting room. So expand the chat box on this presentation. Yeah, the chat box, please.
Let me see, expand
the chat box.
I think that's where we are now. This is the chat box.
Yes, the.
Can I see the chat box?
We can't see your chat box quickly.
Can it be seen from there? So let me drop the
you have to share your screen.
Let me stop sharing. Yeah, let me share my screen so that I can see. Yeah.
Quickly. People are already joining, just for the people that may have challenges. Quickly, please.
Can I see it now?
Yeah, scroll.
Can I see it now, sir?
Yeah, that is it. That is it. So put your cursor on that Microsoft team. That Microsoft team, please click on it on the chat box, everybody. It will take you to that new meeting room where the data management solution is happening. Please click on that chat box so that everybody will migrate to that meeting room. The meeting has started. We're very sorry. We will mail this particular deck to everybody. Tony will do that and the recording. Yeah, leave your cursor on that chat box. So that is the chat box. Click on that link, everybody. You migrate to that meeting that is happening now. Yeah, I can see people leaving. Thank you so much for your understanding. Apologies for the delay at the beginning. Please click on that meeting to switch over to that second. Please click on that link to take you. Tony will mail every member of First Bank on this call with the slide deck and the recording. Okay, I can see people are moving. We still have a few people. Please click on the Microsoft Teams in your chat box to move to the second meeting room for the data management solution. It has started.